Bangladesh has a what you call 36 ka akda in the T20s, I would say, with the T20 World Cup
Right.
or the Asia Cup or the Nidas Trophy final.
My topic, let's segue right into that. The topic for today is associate nations in cricket. So, who is your favorite associate team? And a player from these team who you think deserves to play in a proper test playing nation?
If you really ask me which is my favorite associate nation, it has to be hands down Ireland, because they have been performing. They have been giant killers. They are the original giant killers until Afghanistan took that spot from them. And I think that they were not given the right opportunities to succeed and play against test playing nations. If they would have been given that from 2007 till 2020, in 13 years, they would have been a force to reckon with. The player that I think should have played more test cricket would have been Kevin O'Brien, because when I look at him, he kind of reminds me of Ireland's version of Andrew Flintoff, a guy who can bat well, bowl decently. He's got that beefy, burly personality to him, and he can hit the sixes when he wants to, change the complexity of the game with a few hits, as he's proven once or twice before in big matches. So I guess that's the one player I feel should have played more test cricket.
Okay, so my favorite associate nation is Afghanistan, and I think they have played only 2 test matches till now. But definitely, the one they played against India was a horrible experience for them. But what we got to see was they are just getting started and just getting used to it. So I would really like to see Rashid Khan and also Mohammad Nabi play in Asia, like in our subcontinent conditions, and I expect them to do really well.
Fenil, your thoughts, your opinion, your favorite
It has to be hands down Afghanistan. Again, the same thing. Rashid Khan has been absolutely brilliant in whatever formats he's played. And if he had gotten more opportunities in Test cricket, he's already a player. He's not a player in the making. In any of the teams across the world, he would fit into the 11 straight away.
I would like you guys to tell me the favorite match involving the associate nations. Akshay, we'll start with you.
Okay, so my favorite match, it was the entire tournament actually. It was the World Cup qualifier, and my favorite team, the favorite match was the final where Afghanistan beat the West Indies, and they beat them very comprehensively. Like they were the true winners in each sense. It was not just the bowling, the batting, but the captaincy as well, which was the captain led from the front. But due to some changes during the World Cup, they had changed the captain. Like it was not Asghar Afghan anymore. It was, I think, Gulbuddin Naib or someone.
Yeah, it was Gulbuddin Naib. He was the captain.
Yeah, so my favorite match, it was an entire pre-qualifier, like the qualifiers which were played for the World Cup, wherein the Afghanistan team dominated all the other teams, and West Indies was a full member squad. It was not like they had a second best team which was playing. They had likes of Gale, they had likes of Shea Hope who was playing, they had Hetmeyer, they had Holder. So just 1 or 2 players who were missing from the World Cup squad, but Afghanistan proved a very strong point that they are, even if they are in 9th or 10th in the rankings, but they still can be in the top 8 and replace any other giants. So my favorite match was that, but that laid a foundation for them, because they were just getting started at that time, because they had just won here and there. But after that tournament, they have gained a lot of confidence and they have peaked at the right moment. They just lack experience, that's what I want to say, but they will be a very good side once they get a proper coach.
What I feel was the main strength of Afghanistan were the spinners, and they rose to the occasion on that final. Mujib, Rashid, and Nabi. So, your thoughts on the trio who's done well in a lot of matches for them?
I think Mujib got 4 wickets in this match. And
Yes.
what I would say was, as what Akshay said, that it was a complete full strength West Indies, and they were playing, and beating them comprehensively. And I think, with a better coach, Afghanistan would have done much better. And on that match, I think it was Mohammad Shahzad who led from the front in the batting also. And he
Yes.
scored a brilliant 84. And I think he was the man of the match in that particular match. Also remember very well at the end of the match, amazing sportsmanship by Chris Gale. He came forward, he danced with the Afghanistan players. I'm sure, even they must have felt amazing after that. And it was a good celebration. It overall very good for the, game of cricket, this particular match.
Yeah, so what I feel is this Afghanistan team, what it has benefited from is that a lot of their core players have been playing for a lot of these global T20 tournaments. They have been interacting with a lot of these mainstream players in high pressure situations, and they have been succeeding, doing well in that situation, which is what has built the confidence in them that, they can do well against a mainstream team in any situation, be it a World Cup. It even showed against the India match, wherein we just scraped through by a hair's breadth. That these guys can do extremely well under pressure, and some of their core guys, like I said, Nabi, this guy, what's his name, Rashid Khan, all of these guys are actually key players for the respective franchises, not just in IPL but also in Big Bash League, which has given them the the high pressure situation composure, how they maintain their composure in certain situations, which is why they seem to do well in such situations, which otherwise a lot of associate nations, if you see, they choke in such situations because they do not know how to cope up with that pressure.
I feel they really need a leader in their lineup right now. Someone to step in and, take the onus and like an MS Dhoni, like a Virat Kohli, someone who would take the game to himself and, be an absolute leader on the field and off the field also. Like how during this middle of the tournament they changed the captain. So I feel a good leader would, really help the team. Consistent leader, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone
So
else?
it has always been proven that, a good captain, a good leader who inspires confidence in them and who, commands respect from the players on field and off field. Like, these people should be willing to give their everything for the captain, regardless of the outcome.
Yeah, I agree with Siddesh that Mohammad Nabi is a really helpful guy. But I would really like him to become the captain. That's what my point is. Because I know he has been helping people off late, like during the net sessions, during the practice games and everything. But he should come up and he should set an example because he is a very experienced player. As Siddesh clearly mentioned, that he has played around all the leagues which are going global T20 leagues, as we said, which are going around. So he has a lot of experience in those things, and he should really, the Afghan Cricket Board should look over to hand over the captaincy to him, because you can't give it to Rashid Khan, who has been playing in all the global T20 leagues. You can give it to him, but he's still at a very young age. I know he has
I guess he
experience
was
there,
a
but he's-
captain for some time.
Yes, he was, but the age, the pressure of the captaincy at that age is a little difficult. It could be a little difficult for him with all the senior players waiting around. Like, they have a lot of players who are much elder to him. So I think Nabi would be a perfect example. Like, they just have to make it captain for 2-3 years, because I don't know how old Nabi is, but he should be captain for at least 2-3 years so they can make a good, like, they can lay a benchmark and then they can process, like, for the next World Cup.
Okay, great. So moving on, Siddesh, what was your best match involving Associate Nation?
So my favorite match involving Associate Nations was a T20 World Cup match. It was also a qualifier match. It involved Ireland and Netherlands in the 2014 World Cup. So that match encapsulates what I feel, that T20 is the great leveler. If given the right opportunities, a lot of these associate nations can also pull off a lot more upsets against mainstream nations. because T20 it levels the playing field. There is no such thing as, anybody can win on any given day given the right circumstance. It can just be like pulling a rabbit out of a hat, to be honest. The thing is, that match was Ireland were the clear favourites going in. Three teams were in contention for a single qualifying spot. It was like if Ireland beat Netherlands, Ireland go through. But if Netherlands beat Ireland, then Zimbabwe go through. But if Netherlands beat Ireland within a certain, net run rate was coming into the picture. If they do that, then Netherlands would be the clear winner out of the three. So Ireland made 189 in 20 overs. Chasing 189 in 20 overs itself is difficult, even in the most, easy batting surfaces. But in this situation, somehow Netherlands, they had to chase it in 14.2 overs, and they made a proper match out of it. They pulled a heist off, and they finished it off in 13.5 overs, if I'm not mistaken. I think Tom Cooper was one of the guys who played a very important role. He had a decent bowling figure in that match, the high-scoring match, and in the end, he played the role wherein he made like 45 odd runs in 15 balls with 6 sixes and 1 4. And that kind of sort of broke the backbone of the Irish. In that onslaught, they couldn't do anything. I remember he had just all kinds of shots. He would just go down on one leg and slog sweep a fast bowler to the stands. And if somebody can bat like that, especially a guy who's not supposed to bat above number 6, that I think demoralizes the opponent.
I feel, I guess there were total of, there was a world record, like total of 19 sixes were hit in that innings.
Yeah.
So, did any one of you, Akshay and Fennel, watch that match? Your thoughts on that?
I think this was played in Bangladesh, if I'm not wrong. The match was played in Bangladesh, and their opener Myberg, I guess his name was Myberg. He scored the early. He set the tone early on with, I think, a 17 ball 50.
Yeah.
And I think that time around, I think it was the fastest in a World Cup or something, and he set the tone quite early in the innings, and he ended up playing, I think, 63. And as Siddesh said, Cooper, they kept on losing wickets. Ireland picked up some fantastic catches throughout the match. I remember 3 or 4 catches, and all of them were really good catches. And eventually, Cooper just got the better out of them, and they won so comprehensively. And the sixes were like huge sixes. It could have cleared MCG if you had seen the match, and it was really, really good. And as even Siddesh said about setting the tone 2 years later, involving the match in Mumbai Indians, they did something exactly similar. And now nothing is basically impossible in T20 cricket anymore.
That everyone who came into bat had clicked. Like there was no failures as such. Like there must have been 1 or 2, but everyone clicked, and they clicked as a unit. That was a very important thing for them, because if only one guy goes on to make 100 and other guys don't play around him, that's not gonna. They are gonna win the match. So everyone clicked. Someone got a good 22 off 7-10 balls or something like that. So everyone clicked together, and in the end they had a finishing touch which was given by Tom Cooper. So that's what was needed in a chase like that, and that's how I think they won.
Associate nation favorite has to be Bangladesh versus Afghanistan. Actually, it is not just one match; it was the entire series. And
you're talking about
that
the 2018 series.
18, yes, that was 2018, and it did end up being one of the biggest upsets. Afghanistan beating Bangladesh comprehensively 3-0 in that series, and that was, I feel, like absolute all-round performance. So they were already winning 2-0, and this match is of course famous for that famous Nagin dance, which the Bangladesh players had started. I think it was Mohammad Shahzad in the final match, in the third match. He was batting very, very, very well. He was batting on 26, and he got out. And
I guess it was a controversial decision, trying to play a reverse sweep. The ball hit his gloves.
Right. Yeah. And it was, I think, some Islam guy, and his name was Islam, and he did that Nagin dance, and they did bat well, though. Afghanistan, they ended up with 145. And again, Bangladesh came in. This time they were quite competitive in the match. They needed about 9 runs in the last over. And the onus was once again given to Rashid Khan to defend. He on the very first ball he got Mushfiqur Rahim out and they had two well set batsmen, Rahim as well as Mohammedullah in the last over. So first ball Rahim gets out, then maybe a couple of leg buys here and there, and in the end they needed 4 runs in the last ball, and there comes the slog, and the fielder, I don't know who the fielder was, but he just saved the boundary. Mohammad Shehzad was the keeper. So he just saved the boundary. Yes. He just saved the boundary, and it had obviously gone on the third umpire. And the awareness of the next fielder, like the hunger to win, was seen in Afghanistan players. They were like dying for the winning, and they ended up on the third run. They ended up getting the run out, and it was justice served basically. So because Mohammad Shehzad, the keeper, finally put out the bails and he started the Nagin dance again, and it was a clean sweep for Afghanistan. Was very, very rare, for an associate nation to do that. And Bangladesh, like, mind you, have been no associate nation anymore. They have been absolutely brilliant in most of the World Cups, in Asia Cups. I think in Asia, I feel these days Bangladesh is second only to India now among the Asian teams. They have such a good squad. So beating Bangladesh 3-0, I think that was the real birth of Afghanistan in world cricket. They could show that they could come and beat anyone.
In this match, especially, neither team wanted to give anything until the last over. I think the pressure and the more than the pressure, the desire to win was more on the Afghanistani side than the Bangladeshi side. Like, they were being sledged, and that whole Nagin dance fiasco which started. They kind of sort of took it upon themselves that no matter what, we will not let them win. Sometimes teams just give up at some point of time during the game. You just feel that this team has come out of their sails and they do not want to win, or they just keep making blunders. But in this case, the Afghanistani team did not do anything that would give the Bangladeshi guys a free pass. Even 9 runs in a T20 game in the last over is more often than not pretty easy. An edged boundary just takes the pressure off the team that is chasing.
Bangladesh has a what you call 36 ka akda in the T20s, I would say, with the T20 World Cup or the Asia Cup or the Nidas Trophy final. So what they have is that they somehow managed the set batsman somehow manages to get out during the chasing part, whether it's 3 runs required of the 3 deliveries left or the 9 runs which were required of the last over. So back again to the Afghanistan, you can't take anything away from them because they have been on the rise onwards and upwards from thereafter. And except the World Cup where they had a lot of changes and they did play Mohammad Shehzad due to some issue. But irrespective of that, they have been on a upward graph forever. So we just hope for them to do really well and get good matches up their sleeves and perform really well at the international level, wherein they can pull some good upset. Hopefully not against India, but definitely against some good testing nations.